Most people believe health problems come from genetics or aging, but that's really the full story. In reality, health is shaped by daily habits that slowly change your metabolism, circulation, hormones, and nervous system. As a doctor, I'm going to rank the 10 worst daily habits for your health, from the most damaging to the least harmful. And as we go through this, notice how many of these show up in your daily routine because these effects add up quietly over time. Number 10. Eating large meals without moving after. That's a big issue. After a meal, blood glucose rises. Skeletal muscles responsible for most glucose uptake, and muscle contraction activates GLUT4 transporters that pull glucose into the cells without needing insulin. And when you eat and remain sedentary, glucose stays elevated much longer, forcing the pancreas to secrete higher levels of insulin. Repeated insulin surges reduce insulin receptor sensitivity, increase fat storage enzymes, and promote inflammation inside those blood vessel walls. And over time, this pattern contributes to insulin resistance, fatty liver, and endothelial dysfunction. Even 5 to 10 minutes of walking after meals significantly lowers post-meal glucose and insulin demand. And number 9, chronic overeating, especially refined carbohydrates. Chronic overeating keeps insulin levels high for prolonged periods. High insulin suppresses lipolysis, meaning fat cannot be burned efficiently. Refined carbohydrates rapidly raise glucose levels, increasing triglycerides and stimulating those inflammatory cytokines. Excess glucose is converted into fat in the liver, contributing to visceral fat accumulation, and visceral fat releases inflammatory signals that damage blood vessels, raise blood pressure, and accelerates atherosclerosis. This hormonal environment is a major driver of heart disease and metabolic syndrome. Number 8. Sitting for long periods of time. Prolonged sitting shuts down the calf muscle pump, which is essential for that venous return and lymphatic drainage. Reduced muscle contraction decreases nitric oxide production, impairing blood vessel dilation. Blood pools in the lower extremities. Oxygen delivery to the brain decreases, and metabolic waste clearance slows down tremendously. Sitting also compresses the intervertebral discs, shortens our hip flexors, and alters our pelvic alignment, which can irritate spinal nerves. Number 7. Eating late at night. Insulin sensitivity follows a circadian rhythm and drops significantly in the evening. When you eat late, the same meal produces higher glucose and insulin levels than it would earlier in the day. And late eating also increases nocturnal acid production, worsens acid reflux, suppresses melatonin, affects your sleep, elevates insulin, interferes with fat burning, and over time, this increases weight gain, insulin resistance, and metabolic stress. Number 6, chronic dehydration. Water is critical for maintaining blood volume, electrolyte balance, and cellular metabolism. Even mild dehydration thickens our blood, increasing cardiac workload and reducing circulation efficiently. Dehydrated cells cannot transport nutrients and remove that waste effectively. Nerve conduction slows. Digestion becomes sluggish. The stools start to harden. The lubrication decreases in our joints. Chronic dehydration contributes to headaches, fatigue, constipation, kidney strain, as well as poor circulation. Number 5, lack of resistance training. This is one of the most underestimated habits. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. Pound for pound, muscle burns roughly 3 to 4 times more calories at rest than fat. But more importantly, it is the primary site of glucose disposal. Muscle contraction improves insulin sensitivity, releases beneficial muons, strengthens bones through mechanical loading, and stabilizes our joints. And without resistance training, muscle mass declines, resting metabolic rate drops, insulin resistance increases, bones weaken, and fall risk rises. Number 4. Not walking daily. Walking, we know, is the foundation when it comes to human movement. It activates the calf muscles, which act as a second pump for blood and lymphatic fluid. This improves the venous return, reduces blood pooling in our legs, and enhances our brain oxygenation. Walking also nourishes our joint cartilages by stimulating synovial fluid movement and stabilizing the nervous system through rhythmic sensory input. And without daily walking, circulation slows, joints degenerate faster, glucose regulation worsens, and anxiety definitely increases. Number 3, chronic stress. Chronic stress keeps the nervous system in a persistent fight or flight state. Blood flow is redirected away from digestion, repair, and immune function towards survival pathways. Cortisol remains elevated, increasing blood sugar, abdominal fat storage increases, inflammation increases, as well as blood pressure. Stress also impairs our gut barrier function, increases pain sensitivity, and long-term nervous system stress overloads and accelerates aging, and worsens our cardiovascular, metabolic, and inflammatory diseases it will continue to cause. Number 2, inconsistent daily movement. Exercise alone cannot offset prolonged inactivity. Metabolic signaling depends on frequent muscle activation throughout the day. When movement is infrequent, insulin sensitivity declines, circulation slows, joint lubrication decreases, and brain oxygenation drops significantly. Cells respond best to repeated low-level movement rather than isolated intense workouts. Consistent movement maintains metabolic flexibility and slows physical decline. And number 1, low muscle mass with aging. This is definitely the most damaging habit we can do to ourselves. Loss of muscle mass, known as sarcopenia, drastically reduces glucose disposal capacity, increasing insulin resistance, destabilizes joints, weakens bones, and impairs balance. Low muscle mass is one of the strongest predictors of cardiovascular disease, frailty, falls, cognitive decline, and early death. Preserving muscle protects metabolism, motility, independence, and longevity more than almost any other intervention. So, it's important to understand that health isn't about doing extreme things. It's about doing the right things every day. These small habits quietly shape your physiology over time. They decide how strong, mobile, and resilient your body will become. So please take care of your body, stay proactive, and your body will love you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it with your friends and family. Leave your comments below, and most important, make it a great day. I'm Doctor for Alan Mandel.